something? Like one of
Is that
those
guy, oh
Tybo or
God, we talked about this.
was he Brazilian or something?
I don't remember.
I don't even.
I don't remember. Oh, you
It'll
can
come
see
to me
my
in my
ring
sleep.
light. I guess I should move this back a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like it's a wider view now too.
Yeah, it's a wider view. Oh, yeah, look, you can see my thigh master in there. Yep. Cool.
Throwback of all of our
Yeah.
miscellaneous.
I got that for like $1 at a yard sale. The lady's like, I'm on my second one. I'm
Oh my
like, awesome. I use it for my arms, watch the
There's a
TV.
I was scrolling through just I don't even remember what Reddit or Nextdoor or something, and there's a mobile home park that they're doing their annual yard sale this week. So I'm like, shit, I don't have anything to do today. Let's go roll through the
Yeah. Oh,
Trails
that you
Park
find some
yard
good
sale.
stuff there.
Could be. I don't know. I gotta check it out, man.
Funny. That's too funny. Well, happy
Um,
Flag Day.
is it? Oh, it is. That's right. Is it
Yeah.
14th today?
Yeah,
Jeez.
June
Wow.
14th
Time
is
is.
Flag Day, not to be confused
It
with the
is
4th of
indeed.
July, but yeah, get your flag up.
Correct. Yeah.
Um, yeah, we are hot into summer here in the Arizona. It's been like in the
Okay.
90s this week, and I
Yeah.
really try not to turn the air conditioning on. I try to hold out as long as I can just because I like the real air. Air conditioned air, I just don't care for
Stuffy.
it. Yeah. But yeah, it's
It's stuffy.
there's been a few nights where I'm like, all right, we got to turn the air on because the dog is dying over here. It's really for the dog, not for me. All right, so
I'm
let's
getting.
just get into it. What are you sharing with me today?
Well, I will say, well, we're in June gloom, but we're also having king tides and record surf. So, and I don't know if this was actually, um, who was it? I had it in his brain. I should have wrote it down because now I can't remember his name. Who's the porn star that is weird looking? Who's
Oh,
old? He's like our age.
Ron Jeremy.
Celebrity. Ron Jeremy. So I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if it's actually Ron Jeremy or just a guy that looked kind of like Ron Jeremy, but there's just like the Wedge, Newport Beach, just famous surf spot
Right.
when there's king tides, right? There's probably 20-foot waves, 10, 12-foot waves. So there's people there. Obviously, if you're not a strong swimmer and you're not a strong surfer, don't go. Don't go. So there was some guy that appeared to look a little like Ron Jeremy who was like flopping around in 2 feet of water, and the lifeguards were trying to yank him in, and it was just laughing because I'm like, if you can't swim and you're fat and old, don't go.
Yeah. It's not for the amateur. It's a shore pound. So literally the wave slams you
Yeah,
right onto the shore, literally in 2 feet of
yeah,
water. So yeah, I can see how that can happen.
yeah. But there's the people with talent, man. It's fun to watch because
Oh yeah.
they're like right. They're just coming through, shredding down. There's a body surfer. Like no, he's just got like fins and I think like a glove or something, and he was doing it. And then there's all these little like 15-year-olds and 10-year-olds, 11-year-olds. They've got their skimboards and they're jumping in, and I'm like, dude, these kids are just no
Mm-hmm.
fear going. They're having a great
Yeah.
time. Good for them.
Yeah.
And now King Tide started last night, and they're going for the next several days. So we have flooding everywhere, which is not unusual, but that's always fun. But the main thing I would like to just try to talk about is that in today's modern technology, if you miss a doctor's appointment, there's something wrong with you. The amount of notifications I
Oh,
get for a doctor's appointment
this is
now,
true.
I get I get an email as soon as I book it. I get an email every day up to at the time of the appointment. The day of the appointment, I get an email like and a text message like 4 hours before, 2 hours before. And I'm like, if anybody, and I said to the chiropractor, I'm like, do you have people that actually miss their appointment? Like, it can't be possible. He goes, oh, is it too many? I'm like, no, it's fine. Like, I don't care. I
And
just
a phone
delete
call.
most of them.
And a
I don't
phone
get the
call.
phone call. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
get the phone calls. I get texts and emails. And so yeah, if you are currently missing doctor's appointments, you shouldn't be. There's no possible reason for it
I
anymore.
think that the people that might be missing appointments are the ones that are still writing checks.
Perhaps. but I
perhaps.
feel like their handwritten calendar that they carry with them
Yeah.
is in there, and maybe they're. I don't know. I just it's wild. It's got to have. There's got. I'd love to see a study. There's got to be a
Hmm.
reduction in it.
Hmm. Interesting.
I think. What do you got for me?
Well, okay, as I mentioned, we're in summer and it's not Phoenix hot here. I'm a little cooler because I'm at a little higher elevation, but 90-ish degrees. Now, where we used to live, it was about 2,000 feet higher than in elevation than where we live now. So it rarely got like maybe 80. In the
Mm-hmm.
low 80s was hot for us. And people would come from Riverside County and freak out. What, you mean you don't have air conditioning? I'm like, look it, open the window. You'll be closing it by the time it's dark because it's 60 at night. So, and being a ski snowboard community, you had kids, I'll just call them kids. They were adults, but they were kids that would wear their beanies
Yep.
year round, no matter what the weather was. Okay, I get it. Here in Arizona, where it's 90, 95 degrees, why are you wearing a beanie?
No.
Why? I don't want to know what's going on underneath that wool, synthetic, thick,
I mean,
sweaterish thing on your head.
a ball cap works, right? That
Yeah.
also acts as a sun visor, which is
Yeah. I think
useful
it's
and
it's a look, it's a thing. Okay,
probably
that's fine, but aren't you hot? Don't you want to take that thing off? When does
so itchy.
I mean, we wore high heels and pantyhose. We know what it's like to suffer for, fashion's sake. But I don't know. The beanie in the middle of summer, in this type of heat, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it.
I don't either.
Um, Now, I had something happen to me on the way home, and I know that we are constantly talking about things that happen on the roadways around us. So
Constantly.
I was on my way home, and this is a 2 lane in each direction highway
Okay.
where you have in the middle is a big, like, I won't say grass, it's, scrubby kind of dirt, and you can't pull into it, you can't pull through it. It's there, but like the cops sit there and radar, but it's not accessible. You don't want to drive on it. You need to stay on the road.
Does it have like the little where the cops typically sit is a little bit more like flattened, and then it's
Yeah,
like
yeah, it can
kind
be
of
kind of ditchy in the
yeah,
middle in some spots, but there's no
right.
fence. So I mean, if you had a super emergency, like you blew a tire or something, you could pull in there if you had to, but it's not going to be smooth.
Got it.
So I'm driving and I see the cop pull out and whip around and is pulling over somebody who happens to be in the left-hand lane. So what does this person do? Now I understand the panic that comes with being lit up, cops behind you, and you're just like, oh shit, what do I do? He had plenty of room to get over into the right hand lane and onto the shoulder and off the highway.
Yes.
He basically just stopped in the left hand lane. And there's a little bit of an emergency, but not a full lane, maybe like a quarter of a lane where the stripe is
Mm-hmm.
and then the dirt. And he kind
Mm-hmm.
of pulled over a little bit, but literally stopped in the left hand lane. And I'm like, if I was the cop, I would give him a ticket just for doing that. I don't care why he was pulling him over, but just
Double.
for doing that, done. And I passed by and I was like shaking my head like, okay, I've got this week's Caresy right there.
Again, a full semester of driver's education. Then, so I
Yes.
see as I'm in a left-hand turn lane, and there's somebody on a bike going with the flow of traffic in the bike lane, like in front of me, and it's a busy intersection, and it's high volume and lots of lanes, and she's making the left-hand turn from the bike lane, so like to tell people that she's gonna go into the bike lane, not turn left. She's
Yeah.
making the left-hand turn lane just to motion that she's going to get into the bike lane so that if anyone's coming up behind her, they don't
Right.
turn in front. But like you're telling people that's not, I get what you're trying to do, but like
Yeah.
if we had 6 months of driver's ed for everybody, people would understand that.
Well, and bicyclists that act like they're a car, no, please use the sidewalks. Don't get in the left-hand turn lane because you're making a left at this intersection. Use the sidewalks. You're just asking for someone to hit you. And and then you're just annoying the drivers on the road because you're not a car. You're a
But
bike.
also, if you're a bike, even an e-bike, and you're in a left-hand turn lane that is a left arrow, you don't weigh enough to trigger the left turn
Right.
signal, so you're just going to keep sitting through
You're
this.
gonna
And then the
sit there.
people behind you can't get up to hit the trigger.
It's maddening. It's maddening.
It's
Maddening.
so many
Okay.
things. So
So,
many things.
today's topic, we're going to talk about, we kind of have touched on it a little bit. I think our prom episode, we talked about this
Yeah.
this idea, issue, phenomenon. But things, and I'm going to expand it to events, things and events that seemed so important at the time that they were happening in your life, but
In
as a
hindsight.
senior, not so much. And yeah, we had kind of talked about prom, how it was like such a huge deal at the time, but in hindsight, nobody cares that you went or not. And the pictures are buried somewhere and
And
you
it's
never look at them.
right. Well, and I mean, and it's fun, but like you could also have just as much fun by not spending $400 on a dress and $200 on a shoes and $150 on makeup and $200 on hair. Like you could go
Yeah.
you could go borrow a dress, or you could go wear
Yeah.
another dress that you already have. Like it doesn't matter. This came up because in our family group chat, I got a text message from my son that said like, "Are class rings like a thing?" And I was like, I that's a great question. I don't know, because neither of my kids have class rings, but like I think everyone in our class got a class ring. Like everyone,
Yeah.
like it's $100 some odd for a ring that I don't even know where it is anymore, and it's stupid. Like,
Well, it's
why
funny
do you
you
need a high
mentioned
school class?
the class ring specifically because one of my shows I listened to, they just did a thing about Jostens. You know, and
Mm-hmm.
Jostens, they're the ones that make all those class rings and
Yep.
yearbooks and they do all
Yep.
that stuff. And
And sell your pictures to pedophiles,
yeah, so
allegedly.
I had to pull out my class ring and mine doesn't have the year that we graduated on it. Ironically, it's like has my initials on it, has the name of the school, but not the year that we graduated. Isn't that like standard on a class ring?
I mean, don't you kind of design your own, I think, right? You kind of pick what's on it. I don't even know where mine is.
Mine is nice. It doesn't really look so much like a class ring. I kind of got the not the standard one, but the one that was like a little bit more feminine looking, I guess you'd say. Looks more like an actual ring, but
You know, mine was
yeah, like
mine was
after
whatever the female version was.
my dad wore his well into adulthood. But it's like when people wear class rings, it's like, how long do you wear that for before you finally are like, you know what? I'm 40. Why am I still wearing a class ring?
When you graduate high school. Now, if you had some major accomplishments, world national championships, some of those kinds of things, like I can understand why that might be a little bit more important or a little bit more valuable to you. And, but at the same time, also like it, they're not inexpensive.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are many years later, but we also didn't have like huge life-changing events in our high school days
Yeah.
where it would be like you, but even if I feel like even if you did, you pick it up and you look at it and then you're like, oh yeah, that thing happened. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but there's all kinds of other things that happened, and if it's 14 karat gold or something, then yes, there's value in the medal, but for the most part, on the average, it's like it's important then. It's probably not as important now,
I
in my
wonder how
opinion.
many people who get well, I mean, there's college. I didn't get a college ring, but it's like, I think that's the one my dad wore was his college ring. But it's like, how many people that got a high school ring also got a college ring? And do you wear both? I mean, that's interesting. That'd be kind of weird. Like, you
I
got one
don't.
on each
Yeah,
hand. I don't know. It's rings are weird. It's like you wear the same rings. I wear the same rings. It's like I don't really
I don't wear
switch out
any.
rings
Yeah.
because, once you're married, you wear a wedding ring or whatever, and it's like you don't really switch out a lot of rings. I don't know. There's some people that are really into jewelry that will switch out their rings every day, but I don't have the energy for that. And it's like it sits for so long that have to go clean it every time I want to wear it. It's like screw it, I'm not going to do that. But I did that episode about Jostens I listened to. They talked about like Super Bowl rings and championship
Hmm.
rings, and that was really interesting. A championship team, it's really up to I think the coach as to who gets a ring other than the players. So there can be like 400 rings that have to be made for one championship because they want to include everybody. They want to include the players, the staff, the admin office. It's like everybody could conceivably get a ring for a winning team.
I would imagine now there is some there's some uh, bylaws or contracts or whatever when you talk about professional, because I don't think they can just give anyone. I think like there's
Mm-hmm.
some guy like you have to have been working for so long or so many
Right.
games or so many years, and I don't know, and I think they have to pay for their own. I had somebody who worked for the Los Angeles Kings for years, and when they won a cup they were able to get one, and they had to pay for it themselves. It wasn't an
Mm-hmm.
option for them. And I think there's like the player one, like there's the
Right.
player
They're
coach
different.
immediate
Yeah.
staff, and then there's like everybody else that are a little bit, I think, less expensive and a little smaller and a little bit maybe not as many diamonds or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But I think it's slightly different. um I don't want to say replica, but yeah, I don't know. It's just that was a crazy question. I thought, oh, that's a great, like, it just
Yeah.
doesn't matter. The one right now that is, to me, right, again, at the time it seems like such a big deal. But do you know what a Letterman's jacket costs
Oh yeah.
roughly right now? If you have all of the patches and all of the things?
Probably over $500.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's about $600.
Yeah.
The jacket itself is like 300, and then to have all the patches and everything sewn on is like
Mm-hmm.
another, depending on how many. Right, if you're like a two sport varsity athlete for two, like the amount of pins and
Mm-hmm.
badges and like, and then right, like my son doesn't even know where his Letterman jacket is. It's at the bottom of my closet in a box of his
Yeah.
other random stuff. But like, if you're cool, like, oh look, neat, there it is. But also, if you had a picture of it, you could be like, oh look, neat, there it is. What do you do with it now that you're 50?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's like, well, we go to like thrift
you
stores and
don't.
antique shops and stuff, and they're filled with that kind of stuff. The sad
Yeah,
things are when you see uniforms, like from military uniforms. You're like,
yeah,
that was somebody's,
yeah.
either they're dead or, it was in a box, and that's kind of like medals and stuff like that. Like, that's sad when you see that kind of stuff. But yeah, Letterman jacket. Like I never lettered in my sport. I did get the little patch of the little
Mm-hmm.
basketball, so
The
that
little basketball.
if I did get a Letterman jacket, I would wear it. But it's like I don't know. That was such a Happy Days thing. It's like are kids even getting Letterman jackets anymore? Maybe different parts of the country where like
Oh no,
sports are a big
they're
deal.
getting them.
They're still doing them, huh?
So I worked at a high school like what 2 years ago, and I will
Mm-hmm.
tell you, as the athletic secretary, part of my job description was to organize and get all of the necessary, and right, you have 60 people on a team, and you're not quite sure, and the coach gives you JV, but that's person's the varsity and they're supposed to get this instead of this, and you're like, okay, well,
Mm.
here it is. Like, it's not a big deal. It is a big deal when you give
Wow.
them the wrong little thingy thing,
Oh yeah,
or
I'm
you miss
sure.
their little star, or you missed it, and you're just like, well, just come in and I'll give it to you. Like,
Yeah.
it's not that deep. Like,
Oh my God.
here. Do you want three extra ones? What else do you
Yeah.
want? Do you want to pretend you lettered in swimming too? Here's a swimmer. Like, it's it's not like it's not like, I don't want to say it's not real. Like, it's real. You had those accomplishments, but like, it doesn't it's not official. Like, it's not a
There's no
record.
record.
Like,
It's like you
it's
can
not
order whatever you want and
you
say you
can't
were
like
lettered in
take it
it.
you can't take it in somewhere and see, look, see, swimming right
Yeah.
here. See, there's
Yeah.
proof. Like,
It's
those are your transcripts.
no. It's not on your permanent record, which is another one that was on my list. Like your permanent record seemed like such a big deal at the time, and you're like, whose permanent record is still following them around? I
From high
mean,
school.
the only permanent record you got to worry about now is like, a legal permanent record, like you
Record.
got
Yes.
arrested. But the permanent record, um, and your GPA and your SAT scores, like who the hell cares now? Do you remember what you got on
Now,
your SATs?
whatever the minimum was for showing up, 400 or something. I don't know. I will say, I was so dumb. I will say, ironically enough, if you are looking for a job in the future, regardless of how old you are, in any sort of government related entity, they ask for that. So at my ripe age of 50, I'm much older than that, by the way. When you go looking for those, like when I was like applying for, right,
Mm-hmm.
like after I got laid off from consumer electronics, I'm like, fine, I'm going to shift. I'm going to do something a little bit more relaxing. They wanted copies of your high school diploma. I'm like, I'm 190 years old. I don't have a copy of my high. So I had to go through the records process at Bishop Montgomery to get my copy of my high
Oh,
school
really?
diploma.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow. How
yeah.
funny.
So
Like a certified copy or just a copy?
just a copy, just
Just a
something
copy.
with it. I
Yeah.
think they emboss the steel or
Yeah.
seal or something on it. But yes, so if you in your ripe old age have to go through these things, you will need a copy
Yeah.
of. Now, they didn't ask for like my grade transcripts or my SAT score, thankfully, but they did
Mm-hmm.
ask for an actual your high school diploma. Here's the thing: if I have a college degree and I give you a copy of my diploma,
Chances are you
wouldn't
have a high school degree.
that imply that at minimum I passed the GED, and really it's
Oh my God.
irrelevant to have that?
You never know.
Yes,
You hear these stories about people faking their way through. You just never know. It's one can slip through the cracks.
I understand, but I feel like there should be the like, if the answer to if the answer to question 5 is yes, skip to 9.
Yeah.
Like, there should be, so, right? So like,
Well, and I was on Reddit looking at, because I have my list of stuff, but there were a lot of people basically listed their education, like college and
yeah,
getting a degree, as something that is just not, they would have skipped, you know? I mean, I understand that, like, if you're in a very specialized field, like medical or, some kind of engineering or something where you're like aerospace, something where you're highly specialized, where it's required that you have the degree. Most people are not working in the field that they
no.
went to school for. I mean, at 18, who the hell knows what they want to do?
No, but
Nobody.
that's a law, that's an added, like, it's just a years long debate. Like, it was been debated for years, and even more so now
Hmm.
because less and less really right requires it. But then, like, you get to that conversation where somebody said to me once, and I can't remember who it was that nobody ever said, I won't hire you because you have a
Right.
degree. But there are plenty of places that say, I won't even talk to you unless you
Unless you
have one.
have it.
So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, like, aside from the fact that, like, it's just a thing that you have, but like, college is fun. I
College
had
was
so
fun.
much
College
fun.
was work.
It's just fun. It's fun,
But
right? You
yeah.
learn a lot about yourself, and
And like my thing was is degrees will open doors for you. You have
Yeah.
the degree, you're going to be a more attractive of a candidate than someone that doesn't have the degree with the same, all things being equal. But yeah, but a lot of people were like, I wouldn't have spent the money. I mean, I understand when you get stuck with loans and stuff like that, you got to pay back or not. But I didn't have any of that. So I was very fortunate that I was able to get a degree without all of the,
Same. Yeah.
negatives to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, but a lot of people, I think they think, oh, I wouldn't have bothered. But would they be where they
And you
are
can,
if they hadn't
yeah,
bothered? In
well,
hindsight, you can say
you
it
can,
wasn't worth it,
yeah,
but
it's a
you don't know
butterfly effect. You don't know.
what decision-making process went into whatever job you have today. They might have
No.
looked at your resume and said, "Oh, they have a degree. Hire this person." So you just
I
don't
don't
know.
think, yeah, I don't think spending lots of money, right? Like if you get into your dream school and you're gonna end up in like
Mm-hmm.
massive, like, I am all for not doing that. I just don't think it is the best. I don't think today the ratios of getting out of that are as lucrative as they were 30 years ago. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
much more difficult. I also think it's just super easy and you can get the same end goal through
Right.
going to like a JC and then like get all the this first 2 years are the same basically
Right.
on the average for the most part. The general ed requirements, they're the same everywhere for every degree. It doesn't matter. So go
Mm-hmm.
get them from someplace that doesn't matter. Like
That's
you're when you
discount knowledge at the junior
finish.
college. Yeah.
Yes, and in California right now, junior college is free. You just
I
go to free.
One of my favorite. I like Legally Blonde. That movie it just has so
It's
many
hilarious.
funny things, and I just remember the boyfriend saying to her, "You got into Harvard Law," and she said, "What? Like it's hard?" That's one of my
There's also
favorite scenes.
certain aspects of it where like so the school that Zach went to was a super small school and but it's very like a Harvard or some other very like certain schools, they just take care of their own. So if you went to that school and then you like apply for a job and somebody also went to that school and they're an
Hmm.
alumni and it doesn't matter that it's, a 20-year gap, they're going to bring you in regardless just because of
Right.
that connection because they're just, it's I don't know if,
Well, that's
the
kind of how
connection
fraternities
itself,
started.
right? Yeah.
That's why fraternities started, was so that after you finished school, you
A
had
network.
a network. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, and oh yeah, hire him. He's a brother. Blah blah blah. So yeah, that I can see that. I can see that. But
I think
um,
like when I think of USC, I think that is the
oh God, the
right?
cult of
They just
USC. Oy.
it's just it doesn't
They're on
matter.
the
Like if you
list.
went to
Yeah.
USC and somebody worked at a company and they also it doesn't matter if you were unqualified, if you were a terrible, or if you were terrible. It doesn't matter. You
Mm-hmm.
at USC takes care of USC takes care of USC.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, they
Oh, I know.
they that is.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
sure there's other schools that are like that, but boy, around here, whew.
One of the big things, as maybe, I don't know, men too, I guess. I guess for men, it's more of like what kind of car you drive. Um, but for us, it was designer clothes, designer
Yeah,
handbags. Like, who
yeah,
cares
still
about any of
is
that now?
still a thing.
It's still a
Well,
thing, but it's
some people
like,
do.
I, if it's not leather, don't bother me. And don't say vegan leather, that's not a thing. That doesn't exist. There's no such thing
Call
as
it
vegan
plastic.
leather. Call it plastic, call poly-coated vinyl, whatever. But there's a guy that I follow on TikTok. He's called Jeremy the Lazy Thrifter. And he'll tell you, he's like, these 5 bags make you look poor. If you're into these brands, don't bother. The quality, and he spells that out. He's like, women buy designer bags not for themselves, but for other women because you want to look cool, you want to look fashionable, you want to look like you have money, that you can afford this bag. And other women will go, "Ooh, look at her bag. I wish I had that bag." That kind of a thing. He just dives right into it. I love it. He just blows the whole lid off of, designer stuff. But yeah, we go through that phase, and it's kind of like, yeah, when you're making money and you're working and you're like, hey, I'm doing good. And then you're just like, it just doesn't even matter anymore. Doesn't matter. And if it's
Yeah,
not leather,
it
don't
doesn't.
bother me.
I don't want it. I don't want
I don't
it.
want it. I don't want it.
I don't want it.
Same thing with
I don't want
jewelry.
it.
I've got a thing full of jewelry I hardly wear. It's like you end up
Yeah, I
wearing
don't
the
wear.
same
Yeah.
jewelry over and over. It's nice to have nice jewelry, but I don't need jewelry every birthday or Christmas or things like that. And that was another one on my list. Grand gestures from your spouse or significant other on gift giving occasions.
What is this spouse significant other thing you speak of?
Well,
Kidding.
think
That was a
back to those
joke.
days. It's like I don't need the big I don't need the diamonds anymore. I don't need the out of control bouquet of flowers. I don't need, a big expensive gift. It's like I'm fine with small stuff, and uh, you know, we don't need to do that. But at one
It is not.
time,
It is
it's
not your love
important.
language. My
Yeah, it's
love
not my
language
love language.
are acts of service. Clean, help me
Right.
clean, bring me a Diet Coke, vacuum,
Yeah.
do things that I don't have to do. Take things off my plate.
Take things off my plate. Yep. And yeah, but at some point that's important, especially when you're first like dating and it's like, oh, he got me a big this or whatever, or, earrings or a diamond. And, but it just gets to the point where you're like, that's okay, fine.
And if that is your thing, then I am happy for
Yeah,
you,
that's
and I
great.
hope you get all of the things that you want. It is not my thing. I want less things. I want more experiences, less things.
Less things. Yeah.
Now,
All
I
right.
kind of went down a little bit of a rabbit hole on things that you think that matter but don't slash wedding registry edition. And
This is true.
you start thinking about when you're doing your wedding registry and right. And it's definitely changed now because all my nephews and they got married and you look at it and you're like, oh, right. Like they didn't order fine china. Well, it's because nobody uses
Nobody's
fine
doing
china.
China or
Nobody's doing
crystal,
China and crystal stemware. Like it's
silver.
not. It's
No.
right. It's nobody's doing any of that. But then it's like you think of all of the appliances that exist, right? You've got the crock pot, Instapot. You've got a hand mixer, a stand mixer. You've got the blender, the immersion blender, a rice cooker, an ice cream maker, bread maker, waffle maker, panini maker. There's
Air fryer.
air fryer, smoker, pizza oven, pizza stone, pots and pans, knife sets, food processor, chopper, Blackstone, griddle maker, electric griddle.
I've got
There's
almost all of those. I don't have a bread maker. I
I
don't have a panini. I
I
do have
have
a panini pan that I got at a
I've
yard
probably
sale.
had
Still
most of
haven't
them at
used
some
it.
point.
Yep.
So yeah. So
Um,
like I think the like go-to move is less is more.
mhm.
Get a couple of really high quality pieces
Mhm.
and then wait and see in your life what you think you're going to use. Like if you make pizzas all the time,
Right.
then maybe get pizza type of things. Or you're probably going to do the pizza thing for like a year and then you're going to be like, I'm so
Yeah.
sick of it. Let's move to something else. Get a friend group. Everybody in the friend group gets one and then you just rotate through. Like these are all things that used is better because you're
Yeah.
probably not like there might be right like my stand mixer like
Mhm.
I use it a handful of times a year
Yeah.
every year but it's
Juicer.
$500.
I've got a
I don't use a
juicer.
juice.
I
I don't
was very
juice.
into juicing for a while. And the stand
I tried it.
mixer.
It's too
Yeah.
much. The stand mixer I love.
I do have the hand mixer as well. I kind of
Yeah.
forgot I had it. I had somebody at work. I delivered an air popper. When's the
Oh
last time you
wow.
had an air popper, popcorn
Right.
popper? But yeah,
I spent the
I
extra
kept,
on the I got the high end Vitamix blender, a
yeah, I
high end
had one of
blender.
those.
You
Yeah,
got to have the high end one because you will never have to replace it.
right. I had one. It weighed a ton. And
Yeah, they're
I ended
heavy.
up giving it to a friend that was starting a restaurant or food truck business, and I was like, "Here, take this. You'll use
Yeah.
it." I have a NutriBullet blender that I got
Yeah,
like a few
those are
years
great.
ago at
Yeah.
Costco. It's great. I use it daily, but a lot of that stuff, I kept my registry simple because I mean, I was 30 when we got married. So I already had a lot of stuff. And so we kept it simple. We did everyday dishes and things. I got a covered butter dish. That thing lasted like 6 months. You break it.
I
I
love
think
my
I
covered
still
butter
have
dish.
I think I still have a few pieces from our original. Well, I still have all our silverware, and it was just everyday stainless silverware, and all of the glasses, all of the dishes. They're all gone, just broken over the years. I think I still have some like bowls, like serving bowl type of things, and a platter. And that's it. And we use it. We didn't get a bunch of stuff. We registered for like a shop vac and bicycle helmets
Yes.
and, picture
Yes.
frames, things that we were going to use. We didn't, I mean, china,
Untraditional things. Do it.
crystal, silver, that stuff. Yeah, you're right. I did not want a videographer at the wedding. I just didn't care. I think still pictures go a lot further in capturing kind of just the overall image of the
Essence.
day, essence of the
Yeah.
day. I don't need a videographer that's going to have every little dirty detail and people falling down on the dance floor. You don't want to, that's
Yeah, I
great for
do want to
some
see that.
people. I didn't want to see that. So that's where I skipped. I said no. And I mean, we really tried to keep things simple, no big bridal party, no big, stuff like that. And, but yeah, I
Yeah,
can
I
understand a
think,
lot of the wedding stuff is looking back, you're
and I
like, why did I
think,
bother?
right, when I think you look back on the day and it was a super fun day, like it was super fun, but then it's like, okay, knowing, right, would you spend $10,000 to have that day again? And it's like, well, I could probably have just as much fun with like a backyard barbecue kind of thing
Mm-hmm.
for $1,000 and
Mm-hmm.
in flip flops and t-shirts. So I think that you have to, at the time, you had to do it, but now when you look back, you're like, I don't know if that was the best financial decision that I would make again, knowing what I know. And it's super difficult to impress upon people that yes, it's fun, but in 30 years, you
Mm-hmm.
may not be like that was maybe I'm that would be if you have the money, do it. Like if you're balling out and you can afford all of the things, I'm all for it. But then like you just
Yeah.
it's the pressure of it, right? You have to plan everything, you have to organize everything, and then if one thing goes wrong, and then right, you have to this time and this time, and this
Right.
comes happens here, and there's all this, but you don't get to really embrace and enjoy the whole day and immerse yourself in it because you're on this weird schedule of like,
Mm-hmm.
well, you have to go cut the cake and you have to do this dance and you have to do and you have to and you have
Right.
to and
Yeah,
as
it's
for
hard.
people who love that, that's I love that for
Yeah.
you.
We my dress was maybe $300, maybe. I mean, it wasn't a big expensive dress. My sister-in-law did my hair and makeup. It's like it's just there was stuff where I was like, we're not going to spend. Now, we did have an open bar. To me,
That's the most
we have
important.
to have that. You're
Same.
not gonna invite people to a party and make them pay to come in. It's like open bar. We had good food. And the one thing that I put my foot down on, my mom wanted a DJ. I'm like, nope, we're having a band. We are not having a DJ. I don't want this. Hey, everybody, welcome to the wedding. It's like, and
Now,
it
you
worked out
remember
fine.
The DJ at our reception,
Oh
who
yeah, tell us the
then
story.
several years later was arrested for drugging people and raping them when they came to have their interview meeting whatever
Oh,
to pick him as said DJ.
oh God, I remember that.
Yes.
Yep. Oh
Investigated
yeah.
and convicted. And
Oh
I was
yeah.
like, when we found out at the time, we're like, wait, what's so wrong with us that he didn't get drugged and
It was me.
raped us? Oh, that was a
Oh,
big
that's funny.
scandal.
I remember
Yeah.
that. I mean, it's not, we're laughing. It's not funny
It's not
what he
funny.
did to people,
It's just,
but
no.
it's ironic that, and he was kind of like the go-to
No.
wedding
Yeah.
DJ for the South Bay,
It was
wasn't he? And depending
big
on the
time.
venue
Yeah.
you pick, they're like, oh, we recommend him. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And he was a
Yeah.
handsome guy, right? He was. It was he. Then
Yeah.
that was the defense was like, look at me. I don't have to drug and rape
Right.
people. They just volunteer to sleep with me.
God.
Okay.
So I guess I had on my list like fitting in, caring what other people think, um, having to wear the right clothes and stuff like that. And it's like as you get older, that stuff kind of doesn't matter so much. But at the time, wow, especially like
It's a big deal.
I moved in the fourth grade. I had to start a new school in a new state, and it was different, very different. And then you're at that age where you're kind of that prepubescent, things are starting to matter to you. Like, oh, oh, those, look at her jeans. Oh, they're like poor person jeans, things like that. And you really fucks up your head for a while. But
I would imagine today, like having the right e-bike, right? Oh,
mhm.
you only have that one. Oh, that's the $400 one from
That's the
Costco, right?
Costco
I
one. Yeah,
imagine
that's the
that
Walmart one.
you're
Yeah.
right. Your the e-bike you ride is probably a pretty it is the badge is the Jordache jeans of our time.
Jordache jeans. Is Jordache even still around?
Jordache,
Jordache? Sassoon?
Jordache. I don't think it is, but I think they tried to do a little comeback thing, and like
Yeah.
there's a whole new like brands like Jordache, Ditto. 'Cause there's some other ones that are trying to make some sort of reemergence comeback. I don't know.
Well,
I haven't seen it, but I only shop at Costco, so I wouldn't see
Cherokee
it.
shoes are trying to make a comeback.
Okay.
And also, do you remember Familares? They had that big, thick rubber heel and it was wavy on the
Oh yeah.
bottom.
I saw those online. Yeah,
Yeah,
wanted
I
to
saw a
wear those.
picture
I
of
remember
those. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my
Yep.
God.
Oh, I
Ah,
saw
I
somebody
forgot about
wearing
these.
the Reebok high top with the puffy strap, the Velcro strap. I saw somebody wearing those. I'm like, oh
The
God, no,
Reeboks with the
no.
straps.
Yeah,
Apple bottom jeans and the Reebok with
yeah.
the
It's
straps.
all coming. It's
Um,
all making a turnaround.
yeah, but it's like, especially at that age and being in a new place and having to make new friends and being,
Well, and you're coming from the East Coast to the West
ah,
Coast, which just everyday apparel is, right?
yeah,
like like your
so
Land's End,
different.
which is super cool there. They're like, what is Land's End? Why aren't you wearing
Yeah,
an O'Neill shirt?
yeah. Yeah, the whole surfer culture
Yeah,
and
just
the OP
different
shorts and
brand.
that kind of stuff. No, I
Yep.
mean, we were kids and my parents, we weren't like fashionistas. So
We
it's
certainly
just
weren't.
crazy. Yeah,
Esprit was my
I
big.
loved
That was my
Esprit.
favorite.
Yeah, I loved
That was
Esprit.
the badge of you had money, and our little neck of the woods was
Yeah,
Esprit.
yeah, or a members only jacket
Oh yeah,
or Izod
yeah.
and
Izod, yeah. No, I got La Tigre because we were not Izod rich. We were La Tigre middle
yeah,
class.
that kind of stuff. But yeah, or even just like fitting in, the pressure of fitting in and how it seemed so important. And I don't know, I think some people just never get past that. And
Yeah, it's
and
tough, man.
it messes you up as an adult because you're still trying to fit in.
Yeah, just find a crew and stick with them, and just be
Yeah,
important to that crew.
yeah. Or make your own podcast and not give a shit what people think and say whatever you want.
Yeah, well, find your crew.
Find your crew.
Find your crew.
So extending to like the work world, climbing the corporate ladder, that seemed so important at one point in time, and now it's like, you know what? I
Well,
could
and it was
work at Walmart. I don't give a shit.
I feel like it was important at the time because like you needed money to live.
Right.
Like you
Yeah.
you just and you right like you are provided for so many years, and then you try and separate that and provide for yourself little by little, and then you
Right.
realize how you have to pay like it's every like it's not. I think it gives me an appreciation for the fact that my parents worked and were able to provide all of that. It's not
Yep.
easy, it's not cheap, and it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So you have to, there's climbing corporate ladder for that reason. But there's some people that are like, you know what? I want to be a receptionist forever. I don't care. It's not important. I
Mm-hmm.
just like doing this. I don't want to challenge myself. And then I hats off to those people.
Yeah.
I think that's great. Right now, that's me in my life. Where I'm at, I'm not looking. I'm going to do this for the next 10 years and then I'm going to ride off into the sunset.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That slide into retirement. I think a lot of
Yeah.
people are doing that because you just get so burnt out, and then you're just like, okay, we're done.
I
Um,
climbed for too long.
yeah, I climbed. I thought I was going to climb right under the desk and die at one point. How about turning 21? Turning 18, turning 21,
Any
those
milestone, right?
milestones.
Yeah, 30, 50.
Yeah. Turning
I
21
mean,
was like, wow. I
that was
mean,
not everybody gets to see Weird Al Yankovic on their 21st birthday and call him a nerd.
I was scrolling the TikToks, and this one guy, he's pretty funny. He's does Gen X stuff, and he's like, here are the top five of the worst wines, I think was his category, that
Strawberry Hill.
you drank. You know you drank if you were Gen X. And so it was like, yeah, Thunderbird and Boone's Farm, and he's like, how about Bartles and James wine coolers?
They
He
tried
had,
to make a comeback.
oh yeah, they did.
They
Well,
were,
it's
this,
they used to taste good, I guess.
they
I mean,
didn't.
I drink the flavored seltzers, and that to me that's kind of a
Zima.
throwback. But he had some interesting names for the Bartles and James. Um, a 4-pack of carbonated diabetes that was 2% alcohol and 98% broken promises. He said basically they took some Jolly Ranchers and mixed it with Sprite.
Kinda, yeah.
And I just thought, oh my God. Oh God,
The stomach
they were
aches
terrible.
I would have the next day. Oh,
Ah,
just. I mean, I don't think anything was worse than
they
the
were so
stomach
yummy
ache.
though.
They were. I think the worst stomach pain I might have ever had was the day after, allegedly, perhaps, maybe by accident, we drank half a bottle of Robitussin. Oh my God. My
Yeah,
stomach hurt so bad that next day. It was awful.
that was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Um, the I remember when California Cooler was, oh hey, we're taking that drink you used to make on the beach in a giant tub, and we're bottling it and selling it because, it used
It,
to be
it
white wine, like a
yes.
Chardonnay or a Chablis or something like that,
Yeah.
and Collins mix, and I think
Yes.
Sprite or
Yep.
7 Up, and
Something.
then like oranges, lemons, and limes squeezed in there. And California Cooler decided, let's bottle that and, make it a thing. And so we started drinking those, and then they started coming out with all the different flavors.
It's the
And
equivalent of today's buzzball.
mm-hmm, yeah, buzz balls. Oh, I know. But yeah, but 21, you couldn't wait, and now you're like, now I barely even drink because it's bad for me.
It hurts.
It hurts. You come full
It
circle,
just
and it just
hurts.
hurts. Yep. I know.
It just hurts.
One of my coworkers, it was her birthday this week, and she came in the next morning, and I was like, ooh, ooh, just by the look of her. She's like, yeah, yeah, 18 packs were on sale, so I had to get one for me and one for my husband. I'm like, wow, wow.
Oh,
So, but she's 20 years younger than me, so she can do those
well,
things still.
yeah, I guess for
Yeah.
sure.
As I mentioned, what kind of car you drove. I think that's more of a, I don't know, seems like more of a guy thing
Ye- Yeah,
with their
or
trucks and things
maybe
like that. I don't know.
yeah, I think it was also maybe like a rich girl thing because
Mm-hmm.
I think of like the people who had the nice cars and they were all the like fairly wealthy families and it was I think more important for the
Yeah,
parents to show that they could afford that for their child, whoever,
right.
whether they were male or female. Like I didn't. I look at it. You gave me a free car. I didn't care what it was. It didn't matter. It's
Yeah,
fine
and
by me.
I always thought at one point, I'm like, at some point, when I'm truly at the top of my career, I'll get a luxury car or a semi-luxury, not a luxury,
Yeah.
but maybe like a
Right.
BMW or something like that. And then I thought, you know what? With luxury cars comes luxury maintenance bills. They're not
Yes.
cheap. Like an oil change is not, $80 down at the corner station. It's like, yeah, it's
And
crazy. So I'm like,
I
no,
just
nope.
I love like if I could afford, like I think like what car would you buy? Like
Your
there's
dream
not
car.
a lot like I really really love the like old original OG like Land Cruisers that are
Mm-hmm.
totally just redone. That I mean, I've got a 1999 4Runner right now. I love that car.
Mm-hmm.
I love, love, love that car. I would love to get one of those Toyota Jeeps that they drive in Iran in the desert that are the two-door Jeeps that they like. I love that as my, if I had enough money to afford one of those all redone, that is what I would buy. I love them.
Mm-hmm.
I love them.
Yeah.
I don't go on long luxury car rides. I don't want to go vroom vroom fast.
I would love a classic car. And my friend Carrie, her dad had it was like a 1980s Cadillac limousine.
Nice.
Like you would ballin' like a Kennedy in that thing. And he would come up to June Lake in that car and pick us up and take us like
It's
to
like
the
this when you
to
drive.
the mobile station for dinner. And the seats had the little footrests that folded out.
You know,
He
nice.
had put lights in it, like disco lights, and he had a little chauffeur hat. It had the bench seat in the front, and
Nice.
he would drive us, and it was so fun. And I said, if he ever sells that, tell me. And they didn't tell me. I think he sold it, and they didn't tell me. But I was like, I'd
There
love to have an
was
old
a
classic car like that. But again, with classic cars, that's a lot of maintenance. And
Yeah, so I would say like right, so the like my car, like if you have to replace things periodically here and there just because it's 25 years old. Like yeah, yes, there is something that's going to break. It's not like there's a belt or a something.
hmm
And so I probably average put about $3,000 into it every year with various different things. And I thought, if something really goes wrong, I'm just going to rebuild the engine instead of buy a new. I also love the fact that every time some sort of weird conspiracy about the government's going to shut your cars off and take control and
hmm
they track all that stuff, my car goes up in value. Like I have an actual silver
yeah.
metal key that you put in and you spin it. I have power windows at least. I don't have
hmm
to like manually roll them down, but like I love the simplicity of it. It's
Yeah.
it's fun.
I like the
They're
gas mileage that mine gets. So,
Oh,
right
mine
now
doesn't
that's
get yeah.
important.
Well,
But yeah, so I mean, it was a thing though at the time was what kind of car, what does he
yeah.
drive? What does he drive? What kind of car does he drive?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, at the time that was like what
Especially in
that was
California too.
part of my right. I wanted to drive. I wanted to my wanted my boyfriend to be a hockey player who with dark hair who drove a truck. Like not somebody who was kind, decent.
Yeah. Not a nice guy
She
that
drove a
opens the
yeah.
doors for me and,
Right. No.
asks me what I want.
Right. Good conversationalist.
Yeah, has sense of humor. No. You want the
Nope.
bad boy that takes his
I
aggressions
just
out through sports and drives a car that'll
don't do it.
drag someone to their
Yeah.
death.
Great. Yeah. That's yeah.
No,
Great.
I'm just saying in general, hockey players and,
Yes, I'm well
yeah.
aware. I lived it.
Okay. How about gray hair? Is that still a big
Well, I
thing?
just recently colored all my.
I
Well,
know
I mean, I don't think
yours looks good.
it's very dark today because I just did it yesterday. It'll mellow out in a couple days. Yeah, I don't think. I think that's more of a personal vanity thing.
hmm
I don't think it's in general on the average a whole big thing, right? Like my mother, 87 years old, you would think she wouldn't care. Oh no, that is her hill to die on. Is
hmm
she does not want gray hair ever. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's your
I'm
thing.
embracing it. I'm in that ugly growing out phase. I
Yeah.
can't tell you how many things I've read about what to do, how to do it, and they said either shave your head or be patient. or you're going
Yeah.
to spend just as much money that you were dyeing your hair at the salon, blending it until it's,
Yeah.
stripping and blending and that
Yours
whole thing. And it's
yours isn't
like
as contrast as mine is.
you can
So
kind of,
it
yeah,
doesn't I can tell, but like it's not like I'm
yeah,
brown and white.
yeah. So, but it's like aging and graying and things that are happening to our bodies and our hair and our faces. It's kind of like
Yeah.
you can't, there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, there's things you can do about it, but
Right.
to a certain level. And I'm not going to go get a bunch of stuff injected in my face and pulled and sliced. And
Yeah, it's
I
not
don't
my
know.
thing. I mean, unless it's gonna have some sort of psychedelic effect, I do not want to have
hmm
anything
yeah.
or
I
pain
don't, bel
relieving effects.
I don't feel that unnecessary surgery is ever a good thing. So it's like, I'm not going to go have surgery unless I absolutely have to,
Yeah.
like cosmetic surgery. But that's just me. Hey, some people,
Right.
that's great.
I
Yeah.
elected not to have a procedure done because it was going to cost me 7 grand, and I don't care
Yeah.
that much to do. I mean, it's not a $7,000 problem.
Yeah. Exactly. So, aging and going gray and things are sagging and you just do what you can and enjoy the rest of the ride till you die.
At the end of the day, that's where we all end up, dead.
All
People
righty.
say, "Oh, there's right, like it's death and taxes." I'm like, no, you can choose not to pay
Yeah.
taxes, and there's repercussions, but you don't have to. The only thing in the world you have to do is die,
Die. Yeah.
age, and die.
Yep.
Eventually, you stop aging, and then you die. That's it.
This is true.
It's non-negotiable.
All right. We're running
All
long
right.
today. We had a lot to talk
Yeah.
about.
Well,
Okay. So, what you talking about, Willis?
Well, I kind of wanted to go like just like what are the kids calling it these days? And I came across something. I don't know if it's real, but it I didn't get it. Like so I just kind of did a little search on like things surrounding graduations. And so one was the glaze, which is the endless excessive hype your family
Mm-hmm.
gives during your graduation. It's called the glaze. That like I mean it's like the glaze on the donut, right? It's like
Right.
the cherry on top, like it's the over the thing. Now I will say I makes my heart so warm. I love when you have a big Samoan family that is all in and they are all there together and they are all cheering. I love them when they're at football games doing it for their families.
Mm-hmm.
I love that there are 700 of them. That kind of stuff to me, I love it. I want everybody there, everybody involved. I think it's fun. I love that. The glaze. So go out and
That
have a
is, yeah,
glaze moment.
that's
Glaze.
glaze. Yeah, I have heard that when somebody says, "Oh, she's glazing him" or "He's glazing her," it's like love
Mm,
bombing.
yeah.
It can be love bombing, or it can be like, "Oh my God, you're the most important person in the world. It's your
Over
graduation."
the top.
Not kindergarten though. Um, lest we sound
I will
hypocritical.
I will say, right?
Okay, what if a giant
Touche.
Samoan family shows up for kindergarten graduation? Is
That's
that okay?
I love the fame. I do love it. I don't. It's. I will say there is. I didn't know this was a thing, but apparently it is. There are some of the high schools locally will go back to their elementary school in their caps and gowns and go like to the kindergarten class and like
Ah,
say hi to their old teachers and stuff. And I'm like, I think that is super. I love that. I think it's
that's
super cute
cool.
for the to go see the little kindergartners or the right to just be like, this is we were there once and now we're here.
Mm.
And I think that's
I
fun.
think it would be, I think that would make more sense to them rather than them putting on a little cap and gown that's not comfortable, they don't like, or forcing them to march in some ceremony they don't understand. I mean,
Crying and waving
yeah,
and
and it's kind of like, I know it's okay, it's
pushing each
cute.
other.
It's cute. It may encourage them to love education, love school, whatever, all the comments we
I
got.
don't think it does.
But that's great if it does. But I think having, especially like if it's like the big brother or sister of one of the kids that's in the class, hey, my sister's coming in. She just graduated from whatever, and look how cool she is. It gives them something to aspire for. But a ceremony they don't understand is kind of pointless. It's for you as a parent, and you think it's cute, and that's great.
I
Take
think
your
we should.
pictures.
We're gonna go down this path again. We should probably just reel it back.
We're still going on
Oh,
that video.
If
I think
you
it's up
if
to
you love kindergarten
240,000.
graduation, hats off to you. Jesus.
All right, my what you talking about lessons.
Sorry.
Okay, so the ice rink is known as the Boy Aquarium.
Yeah.
I saw the equivalent for baseball is the dog park because you
Okay.
have players running around chasing balls and throwing balls and acting like
Okay.
dogs basically with a ball.
Now, the first thing that came to my mind that when somebody said, "What is the baseball?" was the boy zoo,
Yeah, that's
right? Like aquarium,
that's the
boy zoo.
rodeo.
That was the okay.
The
Oh,
rodeo is the
okay. I
boy
didn't know
zoo.
that.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know. All right.
So you have the boy aquarium, the dog park, and the boy zoo.
And the boy zoo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And we need a basketball court too.
Well, we got to come up with one for that. I don't know.
Speaking
Somebody
of
did.
sports, does anyone give a shit about the World Cup?
Well, here they do. I don't. I don't like soccer, so it's fine. But like there are watch parties, and there like we went and had dinner and had a drink at the little place down the street. They were packed, wall to wall people, packed, everybody watching, and I'm like,
But
I
these are
didn't
people
realize.
that are
And
actually into soccer. The rest of us
they like it.
just don't care. And
But like
Americans are not
there's
like
more.
super soccer fans.
No, yes they are. There are more of them than there are of like there are definitely more people. I have a group of 20, like all my friends. All the dads.
Maybe this part of the country.
In Southern California, it is a
Yeah.
very big deal. It is. The watch party coverage in the places that are advertising and the amount of people that are out watching the game is way bigger. Like Rebecca and I are going to go try and watch the hockey game somewhere tonight, and I'm like,
Oh, forget it.
I don't know. Well, I think there's not a really good game on this
Okay.
afternoon, so I'm like, we should be okay. We should be able to get the guy to turn one TV on for us. But I'm like, yeah. And then of course, New York is burning.
It just
Since the Knicks won last night.
Congrats to the Knicks. Burn your own town down. But as far as Europe versus America, we're not.
Yeah, they're
we're
all
not
here. Yeah.
Like
No,
that.
we're not there.
We're not there.
No.
But I did see a video. It was a British guy was talking about. Oh God, now I forgot my point. See, goddamn menopause.
Yeah.
It'll come to me. But yeah, it was about soccer and America, and no, I can't remember. But it was funny.
Yeah, it's on the average country to country comparison. Yes, correct. It's not that big of a deal for us, but locally here, people are doing
I remember what it was. He said, "You Americans treat soccer as something your kids play until they grow up and play a real sport."
Yes.
It's like, yeah, it's kind of true.
And when we were there, there was when Rebecca was like 4, 5, she played on the Killer Bees, AYSO team, and the coach and his wife, their daughter was on that team. They were there. We stopped by and said hi. Their daughter now, she played on the U.S. women's team. She's playing in Europe somewhere. This kid at 4 years old was obsessed. And she was so good. So that was kind of fun. We got to see them. It was neat.
Yeah.
Flashback to
Yeah.
Rebecca kicking soccer balls. So yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
That's all I got too.
All right. Well, go watch some Uruguay and Patagonia play soccer today, everybody. Or whoever's playing.
I don't know. I think to try and watch it on TV, the field is too big and the ball is moving too far of a distance to make it interesting
I
for
watch
me.
hockey. I don't like it. Soccer's boring to me.
Yeah.
I like hockey. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't care for it, but
go team. Go sports.
go team. Yeah, sure, whatever. As I mentioned, it's Flag Day. Put your flag up.
Put your flag up. All
Fly
right.
fly that freak flag high.
You gotta be careful. You fly a flag here in my city, and people don't like that right
Ooh.
now. Because if you like the flag and America, then you love Trump, and then the people that don't like Trump hate you. But like, can we just like where we live? Like,
We
does
have
it
a lot of
have to
that
be
here.
that?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, we get a
we
lot of
have a
that here
lot of
too.
that. So yeah, people wear it proudly here.
Yeah, same.
Yep.
All right.
All right, well, that's
Well,
all I
everybody
got for today.
go forth and prosper today.
Yeah.
All
Peace
right,
in the
peace
Middle
out.
East.